All right, guys, welcome to another podcast with Mr. 22, Peter Rippich, with a good friend of mine here, Joseph. I always mess up his last name. I'm going to try and say it the right way. Joseph Barmoha. I always screw that up. I'm sorry.
You're the only one that can mess it up.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. But great friend of mine. I've known him for years here. He's a local celebrity in town. He's a Sergeant First Class, retired. He grew up here in Hialeah. We'll talk a little bit about that. Him and his family have been here now for a while. He's been in the military for 20 years, served our country from one veteran to another. Thank you, brother.
Always.
And look, they don't want to hear me, man. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What's going on?
Well, first, I appreciate you having me.
Anytime.
To the behind the scenes, thanks. And to everybody out there, you know, and everything that you're doing, appreciate it. Hope the family's good and safe. Myself, like you said, I served my country, U.S. Army, retired, and I was a mechanic, and then went into recruiting. My final few years in the Army was recruiting. So, you know, I helped put new and hopefully, I look at it this way, you know, better people in boots to make the Army even better.
Yeah, definitely. That's what it's all about. So you were at Aberdeen Proving Grounds?
I started actually in South Carolina at Fort Jackson.
Fort Jackson, yeah.
Went
basic training?
Yeah, and then I went to my MOS training was in Edgewood in Maryland. Actually, it wasn't Aberdeen, it was Edgewood. Little hidden gem.
Right. Yeah, I know where it is.
And then from there, I went to Fort Hood, Texas. That was my first actual duty station.
Yeah.
Deployed 0304 IF1 to Iraq.
Nice.
And then came back.
Thank you for your service. Look,
thank you, bro.
And the main thing, look, I love thanking veterans, but really thank you to your family. That goes to your wife, to your mom, to your dad, to your abuelita, everybody, because I tell people all the time, look, us as soldiers, when we're over there, we know we're safe. Our loved ones don't know what's going on. Yeah. They see the news, they see a bombing somewhere, and they think the worst. Yeah. And, you know, it's really a lot of pressure and stress on them. So thanks to Kimberly and the rest of the family for supporting you all these years, you know, because it's really, the soldier does his thing, but they need the support of the family. So fantastic stuff.
And I can appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
So, you know, after that, I went to Hawaii. Oh.
That's not a bad gig.
I like to describe it as hell to heaven.
Yeah,
So paradise, actually.
Right.
From Hawaii, jumped into the recruiting command. So I started in Miami recruiting battalion, and from there I went to New York City recruiting battalion. Then came back to the Orlando Medical Recruiting Battalion.
Dude, you're
out of here in Miami.
Look, you're the perfect recruiter. Joined the military, let's say, went to Texas, went to Hawaii, came back to Miami, not a bad place to hang out, in the Big Apple.
Yeah.
Back, let's go see Mickey Mouse in Disney, and then back to Miami.
Yeah.
Dude, sign me up all day long.
You know what the best part of it was? The experience and the people.
Right.
Meeting people all corners and walks of that life, you know.
Right.
And just that experience is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You get your goods and bads, but it's life.
Yeah. No, I think that's the greatest thing about the military. It's a melting pot. So you meet people from, like you said, every different background.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, we see a lot of stuff going on these days and different races and prejudice and stuff like that. I love the military. Everybody in the military is green.
Yep.
I look at you as green. I look at this guy as green. This girl is green. We're all in it together. We have one goal, one mission to make it happen. So, fantastic. What'd you do after you got out of the military? You retired 20 years.
So once I got out, I had, as you know, the military is always 30 days behind.
Yeah.
So I had a nice little even pocket there to work with, little cushion, if you will. And I got my real estate license.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got my real estate license because I started insurance, and no offense to anyone in insurance, but I started falling asleep learning it. So I couldn't do it. And but I've always loved real estate.
Right.
So I jumped into it head first, and you know that little cushion helped me out with trying to just focus on that.
Yeah.
Got my license and jumped right into it.
Right. Cool.
You know, a few months later, I finally got my first deal.
Right.
But again, it was really just more of the experience with people, right? So I like that person-to-person experience.
Of course.
I do it more for the relationship. You know, everyone that works with me, they know that they can always count on me later. Right. And it's just not that one-time deal. And to this day, people that still know me, and I've done deals with them, they're still like family.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. What would you say being in the military helped you transition over to real estate? You know, example being attention to detail. I know you deal with a lot of paperwork. You got that personal relationship as far as coming from a recruiter and building that relationship? Maybe attention to detail, making sure the contracts are filled out right and stuff. What's a couple things that you grabbed from the military that were easy to transition over?
So I would say more so the temperament, the type of person that I've become.
Right.
Because all these other little things can be learned.
Right.
And I can appreciate you bringing that up, but all these other little things can be learned. Paperwork can be learned. How to talk to someone can be learned,
Right.
The business can be learned.
Right.
I'm not better than anyone. I had to learn, from the ground up.
Right.
And I had some mentors, but, basically overall I had to be. So I would tell you the discipline to keep going,
Right.
right? The drive to want more.
Right.
And as a veteran, all of us are the same. We don't like to just stop and sit, okay, we're comfortable.
Right.
We want to keep going. We want to learn more, right? Self development.
Yep.
And the relationship, the
Right.
people that we learn and meet,
Right.
and experience our life with, right?
Right.
So I took a lot from everywhere and everyone that I've known,
Right.
and kind of just applied it little by little to my day to day.
It's funny. I started laughing as you're saying that. Look, I love working with veterans. Helping out a veteran, but those guys are type A. We're all type A.
Yeah.
So you work with a veteran, he fills out the form or whatever it is. Hey, Joe, I need such and such form signed. Boom. I got it back in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
They're on it. They return it. Now they don't understand the civilian world that,
Right.
hey, how come it's not done? I gave you the form. How come we're not closing on the house tomorrow?
Right.
Well, no, there's a process involved, and so those guys are great. They're type A's, and they want it done immediately, and
Right.
which is fantastic.
But usually, the individual veteran knows because we understand that the mission is important.
Right,
To get to that end state, we have to do whatever it needs to be done,
right,
morally and ethically, to get to that point, to
Right.
get to that mission success, right?
Right.
So I believe that kind of just got instilled in us from the very beginning.
Well, they always say mission first, people always.
Right.
And that's the hardest part that you're hitting on. Look, you can teach anybody to do a form and do this, but you can't really teach an introvert to be a people person.
True.
So to go out there and genuinely care for your clients and customers and clients that become friends and family, that's priceless.
Absolutely. It's just also the follow up more so. I mean, it's not always about, hey, let's buy another house or buy a house in general or let me sell yours. Look, that's the business.
Right.
Yeah. But in my mind, it's how's your family doing? How are
Right.
the kids? Hey, let's go hang out. Hey, come over to the house or let's do a barbecue.
Yep.
Now, of course, with COVID and all this, the restrictions and all that. I mean, we can say other conversations about that, but
Right.
being safe and looking at other options to see your clients or talk to them, have a conversation, and not talk about business.
Right.
How are you doing?
Right.
How's
Right.
your family going? Is anybody safe?
Right.
That's to me more important.
Of course.
So the business will always be there, whether beyond me, for someone else, or with me, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the person is more important.
Question for you, man. I've known you for a while. I know you got a heart for veterans, being a veteran. You're involved in a couple veterans organizations. We're in one together where we're donating homes to people.
Yeah.
I know you kind of branched off from that and started something totally different on your own. Tell me a little bit about that and the project.
I appreciate that, and this is something that's very near and dear to heart to me.
I know that.
It was brought, the idea and the concept was not all mine, I have to say. It was a good friend of mine. He brought this idea to me, and I kind of developed a little more from there. But so basically, I have a nonprofit that I started last year that's called Foxhole Command Military Estates.
Yeah.
Foxhole Command is, just got the name because, we are in the military in all branches. If you've dug a hole, it's your foxhole. That's where you have slept when you're in the field.
Yeah.
Everything besides maybe just using the bathroom, right? That's debatable. But, so anyway, Foxhole Command, what it does is it works with all veterans across the board. We vet them out, and the veteran that really needs the home, starting with homelessness and beyond,
Right.
would get a container home,
Right.
completely turnkey, donated to them mortgage free.
Right.
On the land and so on.
Right.
So, for our veterans that are watching a Connex, right? This is a starter,
Right.
like get yourself back on your feet.
Well, I've seen a couple pictures. It's crazy when you think about it. If you took two Connexes or two containers and kind of, play with them a little bit, put one on top of the other, this one hanging out here. All of a sudden, you paint that thing up, you fix it up. It's not just a couple pieces of metal. It turns into a beautiful home.
Yep.
That's amazing, and like you said, you're giving back, you're helping homeless veterans or veterans that are down on their luck. And I've seen some of the stories, a combat veteran comes back and he's gone through the PTSD and maybe some drug issues or whatever's going on and having trouble maintaining a job. And all of a sudden he turns his life around and he gets a helping hand to help him back up. And that's what you're doing, helping these guys out. So I thank you, brother, for doing that. That's awesome.
And I appreciate that, but I have to thank mainly, and may say this might be scripted, but it's really not.
Right.
The individuals and the companies have actually been helping get this going. You know? I have to definitely thank them. I have to give them their props.
Yeah, of course.
Because honestly, none of this would have gone forward without their help. So Freedom Mortgage,
cool.
Definitely a good sponsor.
Right.
I have Continental Insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I have Coastal Insurance. I also have, which is one of the largest ones, is the Seminole Tribe of Florida.
Oh, nice. There you go.
They
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Great sponsors, so I definitely appreciate them. The second largest is Exotic Flights.
Uh-huh.
They were the number one from the very beginning. So I should have said them first. My bad.
Exotic Flights #1. There
Exotic Flights #1 since the beginning. And then I have, I have a lot of other great supporters that are just really, not on a day-to-day, but they're always focused on what's the next step? What can we do to get this going a little more? Right. So little by little, we're going to start branding off even further out into the nation. Last year, I was on Fox News. I was
going to say that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that clip. Very cool.
And that's also on our website, foxholecommand.com.
Uh-huh.
And I was also with Willard Shepard on NBC6 South Florida.
Yeah. I know Willard. So, he's an Air Force guy, retired Air Force.
Yeah, he's actually still in. He's still,
is he?
Yeah, fighter pilot.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, really good guy.
Yeah. Fighter pilot. That reminds me of the movie Top Gun. I want to talk a little bit about Top Gun.
You got me.
One of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
You like that movie?
It's a great movie. Can't wait for the new one to come out.
Yeah, I know. It's coming out soon, man. My boy Tom Cruise. Something like that. Even known to hang a little bit behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Look, man, if you don't know what Top Gun is, you're probably living under a rock, man. Top Gun, one of the best movies out there, in my opinion, which doesn't mean anything, but Top Gun, great movie. It's about Navy aviators going to flight school, the #1 flight school. They go out to California, and obviously Top Gun's the main, Tom Cruise is the main character in the movie, and he has falls in love with one of the instructors. I guess that only happens in the movies, because they end up getting together and dating and stuff like that. But he's flying jets and going to the school, and they end up at the very end of the movie going off, fighting against the Russians, keeping the Russians at bay and stuff like that. So pretty cool scene. One of my favorite lines from the movie.
I feel the need for speed.
So whenever I'm driving around, and don't tell anybody, I got a heavy foot. Every now and then when I get a little bored, man, step on it. I feel the need for speed. And look, I don't want to date myself. When that movie first came out, I remember seeing the movie, and I was dating a girl who had a little RX-7, Mazda RX-7 convertible. We get in there, I'm like, hey baby, I feel the need for speed. And we just hauled ass and took off. So yeah, pretty cool flick.
Yeah, the new one's supposed to be looking, it's supposed to be impeccable.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
His exploits are legendary. What he has to teach you may very well mean the difference between life and death.
Probably one of my favorite scenes in that movie, and every scene is my favorite, but one of the great scenes in the beginning when they go to the bar. They're hanging out in this bar. Tom Cruise and his wingman are talking and saying, hey, I don't know if you can pick up that girl there, and are we gonna do that scene? We're gonna do that? The guy starts singing.
Love and feeling.
She's like, no, she hasn't.
Yes, she has.
She has not lost that love.
Goose, she's lost it.
Matt, come on.
I hate it when she does that.
You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips.
There's no tenderness like before in your fingertips.
You're trying hard not to show it, baby. But baby, believe me, I know that you've lost that love and feeling. Whoa, that love and feeling. You've lost that love and feeling. Now it's gone, gone, gone. Whoa.
Yeah, look, talking about the rivalry, look, I have my uniform on today. I work over at U.S. Southern Command, and it's kind of funny. I'm old school. I don't want to say I'm old, but I'm definitely old school. So back in the day, and you could probably relate to this, you know, the different branches, we kind of go against each other, man. You know, you got a big football game coming up, hopefully with this COVID, the Army-Navy game. Big rivalry. You know, same thing with all the other branches, man. The Navy's better than the Air Force is better than the Marines, Army's better than everybody, you know, and we might go at it with each other, but, you know, deep down we got each other's back.
Yep.
I work over at U.S. Southern Command, which is what's called a joint command. So I go there, what that means is we have everybody there. You got Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, so we all work together, we play nice. I'm not used to that, man. I make fun of these Navy guys, you know, and they look at me and they're like, "Sir, what are you talking about?" I go, "Man, you know, Navy guy, man, why don't you mop the floor or something, you know?" And so, but now we got to all play nice and we get along. But yeah, you see that in the movie. You see some different rivalries going on there. How about in your career? You ever have any bar fights, man? You're a big guy. I wouldn't want to mess with you. Any bar fights with?
I'm not that big. You should see my friends.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we've had our fair share of wild days and nights, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, maybe too many to remember at this point. But,
Rated G. There's a Rated G show, so we got to be cool.
Yeah, and but I will say that, you know, I agree with you 100%. You know, that
Yeah.
when you wear the uniform from within, yeah, we have our rivalries, you know, this, that, and the other, but well, from outside,
Right.
you know, when we're wearing civilian clothes or whatever, I mean, at the end of the day, we unite.
Right.
Because it's under one flag.
It's so funny you say that. We unite and in civilian clothes. You know this as well as I do, man. When I'm walking down the street or I go anywhere, if I see a guy, immediately we can spot them out that's a military guy.
Yeah.
Whether it's his shoes, his jeans, the way he walks, the way he talks, the way he's standing there while his wife's in the store shopping.
Yep.
He's standing at parade rest looking in the window.
Yep.
You know that's an Army guy or a military guy and stuff. So
Yeah. And I'll give you a small example. Actually, this morning, as a matter of fact, I went to go get coffee at Vicky Bakery, which is another great supporter and sponsor, right? Now, you know, I live in Pembroke Pines, so I went to the Pembroke Pines location where I always go, actually, and I see police officers outside. They had just came from had their coffees, and I always, every time I see a police officer, I say, "Thank you for your service. Thanks, appreciate you. I support you.
Right.
You know, I support you. My family supports you."
Right.
Like, "Oh, thanks." And you're military, aren't you? I'm like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" It's just, you look like it.
Right.
I'm like, so I'm military too. So, you know, so
Right.
you're absolutely right.
Right.
I mean, we have a keen eye for it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we have to unite, and we do unite, whether we're whatever branch.
Right.
You know, we unite regardless on any front. On any front.
I had a cool experience yesterday. I got off work and I was stopping by a client's house, drop off some paperwork. I hopped out of my car. I was walking down the street and all of a sudden a car goes by. Somebody in the back seat rolls down the window and goes, "Hey man, thank you for your service." Dude, it feels good. Feels good to know that the American people are behind us, supporting us, whatever political stuff is going on. But always nice to hear that. And I do the same thing whenever I see a police officer. My dad's a retired police officer, so you know, obviously I got a heart for those guys. But always thank them when we see them out there for protecting us and serving for us.
You know, it's one thing I said when I was on Fox News last year for Veterans Day. There was a ton of veterans early in the morning. It was, you know, Fox and Friends, right? 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. So we, you know, anyway, so asking, and they asked me, and they were talking about Foxhole Command, and then they said, "What does Veterans Day mean to you?" And aside from everything else that I said, right, the main thing I said that was probably the most important in my own heart, and I know to other veterans as well, I said, it's all good that, and we appreciate the thank you for your service. We appreciate, blindly not telling us who you are, but you may pay for our meals or whatever.
Right.
We greatly appreciate that, but there's only one thing we really demand, aside from anything else, because we really don't want anything else, is respect.
Right.
That's all we ask for.
Yeah.
Respect for ourselves, respect for our country, and respect for our flag.
Right.
There's nothing else.
Right.
Because that's our flag. We unite under that flag, and it's the greatest nation in the world, in the universe. Remember that. I am a proud supporter of my country. I'm a big-time patriot.
Right.
And I will raise and fly my flag no matter what.
Right.
Because I fought for it just like you fought for it, and every veteran out there, and police officers have fought for it. Because just because they're domestic, doesn't mean they haven't fought for it. They're fighting for it. They're every single day as well.
Right. Right. All right, guys, I want to thank you for joining us today. I got a special guest. He almost forgot. He thought he was going to get out of here without doing push-ups. He's going to have to knock out 22 push-ups.
Let's do it.
Big guy like him, he'd probably do it one-handed, but we're going to knock out 22 push-ups, raise awareness about veteran suicide due to PTSD. But Joseph, thanks for coming, man. Always great to have you.
Appreciate you.
And look, if anybody needs a realtor that they can trust, especially veterans, from one veteran to another, you got to call my man Joseph. He's over with RE/MAX. Tell everybody where we can find you.
So, thank you again. I appreciate it. RE/MAX 360 is where I'm at now. I'm at Coral Gables, but I drive to you, so don't worry about it. My full name, Joseph Barmoja. My number, 305-525-1246. And I have 2 websites. So if you wanted to go and check out Foxhole Command, it's foxholecommand.com. My contact information is there in the contact page. And the donate link as well if you would like to donate. And my personal website for real estate is regodfather.com. That's for real estate Godfather. It works. And again, that's regodfather.com. But thank you again. Thank you, Pete.
You're welcome.
Sir, excuse me.
Well,
I appreciate it.
we're friends. You call me by my first name, sir. That's fine.
Yeah,
It's
but
all
I still
good.
have you still wear the rank and you still wear the uniform, so you earned that.
Look, we didn't even go into the Godfather. I forgot we're hanging with the Godfather of real estate here, man.
I try.
This is my man right here, the Godfather.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for coming out, man. Always great to see you. Say hello to the family for me, and let's get together soon and break some bread.
Absolutely.
Yeah, do me a favor. Let's copy and share this. I'll post it out there.
Yeah,
Let's send it out to our friends, our contacts, our fellow veterans. Somebody out there watching it, go ahead, copy and share it so we can get the word out and promote this great veteran here who helped protect and serve for our country.
Thank you, and I appreciate that, absolutely.
Hey, we're knocking out 22 to raise awareness. 22 vets today commit suicide due to PTSD. 2 veterans hanging out. Let's go ahead and knock it out. And again, thank you for your service, brother. Ready? Not too fast. Go.
1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 144 now, you know that, right?
Oh, I know. I just did chest yesterday.
10, let's go. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Come on. 1, 2, 3. 2 more. 1, 2, 3.
Dude, you're bringing smoke. Bringing smoke. I didn't know that was happening, man. I just did chest yesterday, baby. 22 for the veterans.
44 today.
Way to go, brother.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, never again, man. I'm not doing 44 with you anymore. Yeah, dude, I just did chest. I forgot to click record. You gotta do it again.
Your reputation precedes you.
I have to admit, I wasn't expecting an invitation back.
They're called orders, Maverick.
Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking. Today's exercise is dogfighting.
2 versus 1? Hey, you gotta be kidding.